Hi math students, it's Mr. Hatchgasm, and today we're going to learn about the order of operations. So we have a problem here. 3 plus 4 times 5 equals 35. Now, is this true or false? Now, we can look at it in two ways. If we were to simply go from left to right, well, this would be true because 3 plus 4 is 7 and 7 times 5 is 35. However, mathematically, this is actually incorrect because we are not following the order of operations. And if we were to do this in the right way, this would actually be, and I'm just going to rub this out. If you could just bear with me one moment. There we go. And if I rub out the drawings, what we will get is not 35, but rather, if we were to follow the order of operations, we would have to do the multiplication first. So this would be 3 plus 4 times 5 is 20. So 3 plus 20 is 23. So our answer would be 23, not 35. So what is the order of operations? What do we mean by the order of operations? Well, the order of operations is known as BIDMAS. BIDMAS stands for brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So whenever we have a sum or an equation, we have to follow this order instead of going from left to right. Now, indices, that may sometimes confuse students, but by indices, we just mean the powers on numbers. So for example, 2 squared, the indice, or the index, I should say, the index is 2, or say 3 to the power of 4, the index is 4. So this is what we mean by indices, the powers of numbers. Now, notice here, we have the curly brackets on addition and subtraction, and the reason why we have this is because division and multiplication, as well as addition and subtraction, they have equal priority. So whilst we write BIDMAS and we say this is the order to follow, but actually division and multiplication, they have equal priority, and then once we get to addition and subtraction, they too have equal priority. So that means if we had a division and then a multiplication problem, or a multiplication and then a division problem, we would simply follow the order from left to right. And we will do an example shortly. So this is an important bit to recognize. I will say it again, division and multiplication have equal priority, as do addition and subtraction. So let's do an example here. So which answer do you think is going to be true? So think about what we talked about. You can pause the video and have a go at this. But actually, if we talk about this idea of equal priority, what we would have to do is to follow the order from left to right. So even though in BIDMAS, addition is written before subtraction, this wouldn't be 9 minus 4 plus 3, 7 equals 2. This would be wrong. Because addition and subtraction have equal priority, we would follow the one that comes first. So we would do 9 minus 4, which is 5, 5 plus 3, which is 8. So this becomes 5 plus 3, which is equal to 8. So this is an example of where knowing this rule of equal priority comes into hand. Now, let's do some more trickier examples. So now we have 4 minus 3 times 6 plus 20. So if we follow BIDMAS, what comes first then? So multiplication comes before addition and subtraction. So this is the bit we would have to do first, the multiplication. So I would do 3 times 6, that's going to be 18. So what we'll have is 4 minus 18 plus 20. Now again, notice we have subtraction and addition. So now I'm just going to go from left to right because both of these operations have equal priority. So 4 minus 18, that's going to give us minus 14. So we're left with minus 14 plus 20. Minus 14 plus 20 is going to be 6. And if you ever get confused with adding or subtracting negative numbers, you can draw yourself a number line. So let's say if this is 0, minus 14 is going to be somewhere here. If we add 20, we are going to go to the right of our number line. Remember, as we go to the right of the number line, the numbers get bigger. So I'm just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if we add 20 to minus 14, we can break it up. We can say if we add 14, we get to 0. Now we have another 6 left. So from 0 plus another 6, well, that's going to get us up to 6. And 14 plus 6 is 20. So we've added 20 overall to minus 14 to get us up to 6. But we've just done it in 2 different steps. So minus 14 plus 20 is equal to 6. Or we can rewrite this as 20 minus 14 equals 6. All right, so let's do another example. I'm just going to rub this out. So now we have brackets. So we said a BIDMAS. So the first operation we need to look at is the brackets. So this would be 3. In brackets, we'll have 8 divided by 6 is equal to. Now notice this 3 next to the brackets. Whenever we have a number next to a bracket, and let's say that number is X or Y, or it could be any number, what we would have to do is multiply this bracket out, because if there's no symbol, no operation between the number and the bracket, this means we have a multiplication problem. So this is the same as 3 times x, which would give us 3x. Likewise here then, we have 3 times 8, so that's going to be 24. And 24 divided by 6 is simply 4. So the answer to this problem is going to be 4. All right, and if we rub this out and do the last example, excuse me, now we are dealing with indices as well. So I'm going to first deal with the indices. So this is going to be 2 times 5 squared is 25, minus 2 cubed is 8, times 5, and what does that give us? So first I would have to do the multiplication, so that's going to be 50 minus 8 times 5. Now again, you might be tempted to do 50 minus 8 times 5. That would be wrong. We have to follow the order of operations here. So that's going to be 8 times 5. So what we'll have is 50 minus 40, which will give us 10. So the answer to this problem is going to be 10. All right. Hopefully this is starting to make sense, and hopefully you can now see how we follow the order of operations. So brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, although where we have division and multiplication or addition and subtraction together, we just need to follow the order from left to right. All right, and moving on. So if I just rub this out, and let's do some tricky problems then. So the first one, again, we have 3 times 5 minus 6 divided by 3 times 5. So again, as we have multiplication first, we would do the multiplication before the division. So that's going to be 3 times 5 gives us 15. And I'm just going to write out the problem so it becomes easier to see. So we have 3 times 5 minus 6 divided by 3 times 5 is equal to. So let's do the multiplication before we do the division. So we'll get 15 minus, and now here we would do the division. So 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 5. And now we would do the multiplication first because multiplication comes before subtraction. So this is going to be 15 minus 10, which is equal to 5. So the answer to the first problem is 5. Now again, if you want to pause the video and have a go, by all means do so. However, I'm going to go through the answers. So you can have a go and check your answers once you have finished. So let's write out the next one. We have 2 times, I'm just going to go back to the slide because this question looks similar to the last problem. 2 times 5 squared minus 2 cubed times 5. Right, so we just did this problem on the last slide, so I'm going to skip this one. So we can skip this, as this was from the last slide. But we can do these two over here. So we've got 5 times 3 minus 2 squared times 3 divided by 4. So let's deal with the index first. So what we'll have is 5 times 3 minus 4 times 3 divided by 4. So we can do the multiplication first. So 5 times 3 is 15. Minus 4 times 3 is 12. Divided by 4 equals. So now we have subtraction and division. So division comes first. So this would be 15 divided by 12 divided by 15 subtracted by 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 15 minus 3 gives us 12. So the answer to this problem is going to be 12. Now, moving on to the next problem. So what we'll have is, and if I write the problem out, 2 brackets 5 squared minus 4 squared, close brackets, divided by 3 plus 2, and that is equal to. So again, we would have to do what's inside the bracket first. So we'll have 5 squared is 25 minus 16 divided by 3 plus 2 equals. Now, 25 minus 16 is going to be 9 divided by 3 plus 2 equals. So now expand the bracket here. 2 brackets 9 just means 2 times 9. So this is going to be 18 divided by 3 plus 2 equals. Now we do the division first. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 plus 2 is going to be 8. So the answer here is 8. And if we do the last problem, so that's going to be, so if I write it out, what we'll have is 1 plus 2, and then in brackets we'll have 3 times 4 minus 5, and then minus 3 squared. So what we will get is, let's first start with, I suppose we can start with the brackets here. So we would get 1 plus 2. In the brackets, we'll have 3 times 4, which is 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. Minus 3 squared becomes 9. So we can deal with that over here. Now expand the bracket. So that's going to be 1 plus 14 minus 9. So that's going to be 15 minus 9, and 15 minus 9 is going to be equal to 6. So the answer to the last problem is 6. Now I'm just going to leave you, with one final little puzzle which you can try by yourselves at the end of this lesson. So if I just rub this off, the question says, can you find every number between 1 to 6 using only 4 fours and any operation? So we're using 4 fours, and here I've given the example of getting 1. So to get 1, what I can do is 4 plus 4 in brackets divided by 4 plus 4 again. So because I have brackets, I would have to do the addition first, or whatever is inside my bracket. So what I'll have is 8 divided by, again, I would have to deal with the brackets. So 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 divided by 8 is 1. So we've used 4 4s and any operations that we wanted, including brackets, to make 1. Now, I will do one for 6 as well, and you can maybe spot to see if I've done this right or not. So what I can do is say 4 plus 4, that's 8, divided by 4, that's 2, plus 4, that's 6. So 4 plus 4 makes 8, divided by 4 makes 2, plus 4 makes 6. Now, is this right? Is this right? Well, actually, the problem here is that it's not right, because what I would have to do first is 4 divided by 4. I would have to do 4 divided by 4 first. So that's going to be 4 plus 1 plus 4, which will give me 9. So this wouldn't work for 6. However, I can fix the problem with brackets. I can fix the problem here with brackets. And the way I can go about doing this is, if I want 4 plus 4 to come first, well, I can insert 4 plus 4 inside the brackets. So now this would work, because we'll follow the order of operations. 4 plus 4 is 8, divided by 4 plus 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So with these brackets in place, I can get the answer 6. So you can now have a go and see if you can find the answers between 2 to 5 if you wish. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found this useful, and the most important takeaway here is to remember BIDMAS when doing sums with lots of different operations. Don't just simply go from left to right. Follow this order here, starting with brackets and then finishing at subtraction. So BIDMAS is the order of operations which we follow. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.